Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated. All tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars but I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a dime but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, didn't know how but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million. Always had high hopes. Mama said, something for oddities, stranger kisses. Ain't ever wannabes, winning the novelties that don't ever change. We wanted everything, wanted everything. Stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down. Oh, stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down. Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated. All tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. They say it's all been done, but they haven't seen the best of me. So I got one more run, and it's gonna be a sight to see. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a dime, but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, didn't know how, but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million. Always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a dime, but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, didn't know how, but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million. Always had I've been hustling and tonight is my appraisal, cause I'm a hooker selling songs and my pimp's a record label. This world is full of demon stocks and bonds and Bible traders, so I do the deed, get up and leave a climber and a sadist, yeah. Are you ready for the sequel? Ain't ready for the latest in the garden of evil. I'm gonna be the greatest in a golden cathedral. I'll be praying for the faithless, and if you lose, boo-hoo. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Everything's coming up pieces, pieces. If it's a dream, don't wake me, don't wake me. I said, hey, look, ma, I made it. Friends are happy for me, or they're honeysuckle phonies. Then they celebrate my medals, or they wanna take my trophies. Some are loyal soldiers, while these other thorns are rosy. And if you never know who you can trust, then trust me, you'll be lonely. Oh, are you ready for
Now, to start this evening off, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is have a couple of recognitions. Then we're going to have some family members come up. Then we're going to have some peers in Metro that are going to make a few comments as well. Then we're going to give credentials to Sasha, which will conclude our formal program, but we'll continue to celebrate Sasha and all that we do here as well. And to start us off this evening, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring to stage Las Vegas City Councilwoman from Ward 2, Miss Victoria Seaman, as she has a special recognition for Sasha. Victoria.
Wow, so exciting to be here. And I need for the wonderful Sasha Larkin to come up here. You know, the room exemplifies how many people love this woman. And from the moment I met her, I was in love with her. She's a very special person, caring person. And I know that she's leaving LVMPD, but she's going to be lifetime friends for all of us. So I have I have from the mayor and the Las Vegas City Council a proclamation for Sasha Larkin. And normally I don't like to read every little part, but I think that it is deserved tonight. No? No. She said I don't have to. So I'm going to read the first. I'm going with the audience. I'm sorry, my dear friend. Whereas Assistant Sheriff Sasha Larkin has served with distinction as a member of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, LVMPD, for over 25 years, starting in the patrol unit before serving in various other capacities, including vice and internal affairs. And whereas Assistant Sheriff Larkin's dedication and commitment to public safety saw her rise up through the ranks to serve as captain of the Summerlin Area Command and retire as the Assistant Sheriff over the Homeland Security and Special Investigative Services Divisions. And whereas Assistant Sheriff Sasha Larkin has represented LVMPD nationally and held a position in the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, she played a pivotal role in establishing the Office of Community Engagement, OCE, and the Fusion Liaison Officer Program. And whereas Assistant Sheriff Larkin has been an outstanding role model and mentor for the next generation of women leaders of the LVMPD, and whereas as Assistant Sheriff Larkin retires from the LVMPD and begins the next chapter of her life, we extend our gratitude for her tireless efforts to keep our city safe and wish her continued success in her future endeavors. And now, therefore, we, the mayor and members of the Las Vegas City Council, proudly proclaim May 24th, 2024 as Assistant Sheriff Sasha Larkin Day.
All right, got a special day named after you and all that's well, so it's pretty amazing how it all come together. So, in 2008, Sasha had an idea, along with some of the other from Stephanie and a varieties, to create a program called Women of Metro. How many of you are familiar with that program? All right, guys, how many of you are familiar with that program? They know. All right, there's a couple. I'm going to get it as well. But they've made a really phenomenal impact in terms of, and Sasha and Stephanie's focus essentially when they were creating that program is to bring that attention and the unique perspective that women have in law enforcement. And without these two ladies, this would not have happened. And what we'd like to do at this point is give you a little abuse and a little bit of love for creating that. And I'd like to ask some special board members that have served with us on the Women of Metro board for over. First, I'd like to ask Stephanie Ward to come up. She's also one of the founding members. Sergeant from Metro. So Stephanie, if you'd come up, I see you right there. And then we got Michelle Tavares, also chair on the board here as well. If she'd come up. Michelle, hi there. I've got Nita Schmidt as well. Nita, where are you? There you are, I got you. I've got Cindy T. Where's my Cindy T? She's there. If you want to try this last name, I've never gotten it over the years that I've known Cindy, so we've just always gone and we've adopted her as Cindy T, but it's Tawanu. Am I close? Yeah? Okay, all right. I keep trying. And then I've got Faramar as well. If you will, come on up, an officer of LVMPD. Sasha, get ready. We have some love to give and share with you here.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? Yes, absolutely. First and foremost, it's an honor to be up here to recognize my friend and our fearless leader in our mission with the Women of Metro. And I'm not going to lie, these last few weeks, when asked to speak, scribbled, threw it away, scribbled. I was lost for words because since 2008, it's been very impactful. And the work that we have done in this community is hand down some of the results that we may never see until many, many years from now. So as the co-chair for our Women of Metro, we've had a tremendous journey. The impacts that we've had on the lives of the little kiddos in our community and internally For our women and our female leadership throughout this agency, there's very few words that I can say. Again, I did struggle all week trying to finalize my thoughts. Sasha, you have been instrumental in our work as the Women of Metro and the work that we do in the community. So many lives have been touched and impacted by your leadership, your strength, and your encouragement to move forward and do what we do best in our community. Tonight, I'd like to present you with your keepsake Women of Metro box for all of those special items that you want to put in.
Nice here. 1, 2, 3. One more. Thank you.
Again, leadership, encouragement, and building that next generation of females in law enforcement, whether civilian, commissioned, or otherwise, has been instrumental in our lives. Personally, my own, from almost 19 years ago, when you taught me how to breathe correctly when we were running in the academy, and you taught me how to control that breathing so that way I can make it through our tremendous runs. You will be truly missed. Your legacy with the Women of Metro will live on with your board of directors. There are very few words that I can say, but you have left your legacy in good hands for the future. I would like you, everybody, thank you. I'd like everybody to raise a glass to Sasha. Thank you for your friendship, your encouragement, and your wisdom. May your next journey allow you to do the same to others that you come in contact with as much as you had done for all of us. Thank you. Lastly, but not least, one of our amazing community partners, MJ Christensen, has custom made a design from your board, from the Women of Metro, specifically for you. And I'm sorry it doesn't match your outfit tonight, but you may wear it in the future.
Thank you.
We love you. Thank you so much.
Show us the ring. This is a ring.
Show us the ring.
It's not a ring, it's a pendant necklace.
Thank you. This is amazing. Thank you. Nope. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's give all of them another big round of a hand as we say thank you to Sasha and the ladies for what they do with the Women of Metro. No, you need to be here because it keeps getting more and more important, and it is, there's one time when it gets to be all about you, and that's tonight for sure. So, and to make it even more special, our families are the people that get to live and breathe with us every single day as we do everything we do in the world of law enforcement. We bring it home. We try to leave everything else that we're doing that's there as well, but they know it affects what we do and how we do it. But we have some special people that you know very well that would also like to say some comments about someone special that they call Mom. You ready for this one? So first up, to kick us off, we're going to have son Brock come up. Mr. Brock Larkin right here. You notice that he's inspired a new fashion style and dress, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, these kilts will be available for your consideration and purchase later this evening. Brock is a fine marksman right there, ladies and gentlemen, but his favorite thing to do is torment his sisters. They'll have the opportunity to get a little bit of feedback as well. A big gamer, everybody else, wearing his Raiders fan and his famous camouflage kilt. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together with a warm welcome for Mr. Brock Larkin.
Mom, I just want you to know one thing, that you mean the world to me, and I'm really, really proud of you for everything you've done, and I love you so much.
I love you. Thank you.
Stay up here with us. Don't go anyway. Now, just so we have an opportunity to continue it on, there's two others that share this household with him as well as Connor, who is the bonus son. Every once in a while jumps in and causes a little ruckus, but the ones that he abuses most often are Rumi and Reagan. And these are, as everybody in the community knows, I think this is how I initially met Sasha, where these two little sweet girls came up to me and they just asked me a question about what I do professionally. And I was just charmed and have been ever since. Now, Rumi, they're both twins. Rumi, you're older, right? By about a minute? Do I have that right? Do I remember that? Yep.
90 seconds.
90 seconds. I stand corrected. A minute and a half. I guess I remembered that wrong. She's the one now, they're both were gymnasts, but Rumi is a karate expert as well. She's going to come up and tell us all about black boot, make some moves on her brother, show me what's going on. She decided she'd do that to keep Brock in line, so she decided to do that. Now, Reagan is the swimmer in the group. She's our sandpipers swimmer right there. Makes everything up. But also a gymnast. So I'm going to ask the girls to come up if they will, and come give your mom some love if you will. Please help me welcome Rumi and Reagan to the stage.
Hello everyone, my name is Rumi Larkin. I'm so proud to say that my mom is Sasha Larkin. My mom is the most amazing person I have ever met. She's a warrior, she's a mentor, an amazing mom, and so much more. She has always taught me to follow my dreams and that you can do anything you put your mind to. I'm so grateful to have a mom such as her. She has accomplished so much in the 25 years on the Metropolitan Police Department. She had to do so much hard things to accomplish and get where she is. She has always told me to never give up, and obviously she never has. She had to shave her hair in the academy. She had to get tased and pepper sprayed. She had to get through the tough times of people telling her she would never make it. Well, look at her now. She's a beautiful woman who is retired after 25 years in the police department. I'm so proud to call her my mom. I love you, Mom. Okay. Hi, my name is Reagan, and I am proud to say that I am the daughter of a strong, beautiful, kind, and full-hearted person. That would be my mom. My mom is a lot of things. She is the best mom you could ask for. She is funny, kind, and very protective. I couldn't have asked for anything else. My mom loves me so much, and she reminds me of that every day. And I am so proud of her and so excited for her to start this new chapter in her life. I want her to be happy because she always wants that for me. I love you so much, and you are strong, and I'm thankful for all you do. You did not I'm trying. Thank you for all you did, not only for the community, but for our family. Mom, you're the most special person in my life. If it wasn't for you, I would not be here. I'm so thankful that you brought me into this world. Thank you.
All right, now Reagan, you said, Mom, I couldn't have done it without you. Well, there's also somebody else in your family that if not for him, you wouldn't be here. And I'm going to let Mom and Tim explain that to you later. The fun thing I remember about Tim was where he met Sasha. Now, how many of you know Sasha as a yoga, what is it, a master? Is that what they call them? All right, okay. So this guy was clever enough, obviously. He saw this beautiful yoga instructor. He signed up for the class, and then somehow, when he was in a downward dog position, decided that he would ask her out on a date. And as they say, the rest is history. But his history is as well as in Navy intelligence. I don't know if all of you knew that as well, but that's kind of a secret at the household. So he kind of understands Sasha even more so when she comes home every night and shares some of the stories that happened out on the streets that day, so as well. If you would, please help me welcome the other guy responsible for these three beautiful children on stage, Sasha's husband, also in the ever-popular camo kilt, Mr. Tim Larkin, ladies and gentlemen, right here.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be here tonight, and thank you so much. The people that are out here tonight, you're the people that really need to be here. You guys helped so much build what my wife had a passion to build, and it's just so great to see all the faces that are out here tonight, and I got to thank you very much for that. I have gone, I used to have an amazing career before I met Sasha. People knew me all over the world. I was on magazine covers. I had all this thing. I was on all the big shows. As soon as I got to Vegas and when I started dating Sasha, I became first Sasha's boyfriend. And then it was great. I progressed through, and later on I was Sasha's fiance and stuff. And then most of you have known me the last 15 or so years as Sasha's husband. And that is how I am known here, and I couldn't be prouder. This woman is... Yes, originally I thought she was a yoga instructor, and then I just learned so much more. And to watch her, just the passion that she's had for the work that she's done, and the support that she's had from people, and the fact that she would not take no for an answer, and she just really worked with the community and the community partners that are here tonight, just amazing. And I just want you all to know that you've all had an effect. I've tried to tell all of you what you've meant to her and how you've assisted her. And all I can tell you is that it's been an amazing career for my wife. I'm so excited for the next chapter. And I will tell you, the last 2 weeks have been kind of nice because we have not had multiple phone calls during the night. And we've actually got some sleep. So that's a big positive. But I'm very excited for what's coming up for my wife and what she's going to do. She's going to do great things. And thank you all so much for giving her the support that you've given her over the years, because it really means a lot to myself and to the family. Thank you.
Give this good-looking family a little more love, will you? Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks, Brock. Thanks, Ray. You can come down the stairs. No, why not? You're in heels. Why not jump off the stage? Yep. And Tim, get ready, because as the children get older and older, you're going to be known as Dad, as you have been along. So as Sasha makes those changes, we will as well. Now, those late night phone calls, ladies and gentlemen, not only come to Sasha's household, but other members of our department as well. And there's a few that would like to come up, Sasha, and give you a little bit of love, maybe a little bit of abuse, but I'm going to leave that up to them as we go. And to start us out from the LVMPD, if you would, please help me welcome Ted Snodgrass, a retired lieutenant with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, to come up and give some retirement tips to Sasha and to share with us. He was a first lieutenant and was promoted to sergeant, and he provided Sasha the space to learn and grow daily despite his gruff and direct demeanor. Look at him and his facial expression when he comes to stage, you'll know it. He taught her everything she needed to know about being a first-line supervisor, leader, and inspiration to her troops. More like our father to Sasha than a mentor, he is still pivotal in her life, even after a decade in his retirement and his hair changing color. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ted Snodgrass right here. Ted?
Thank you. All right, let me get the directions down here. I'm kind of old and forgetful, but let me see. 2008, this beautiful gal comes walking in my cubicle, and I'm sitting in there with two knuckle-dragging sergeants like myself, and she says, "I'm Sasha," and I don't think you had the same last name at that time. And I told her, "Who?" And she tells me, I said, "Get out." And she goes, "Why?" I says, "You're two senior sergeants and a lieutenant are in here talking. Who the hell do you think you are?" And she scampers out, and I bring her back in after the sergeants are done, and I go, "Why are you here?" And she goes, "Well, I'm going to come work with you guys at Bolden." And this station was a tough station to work at. I'd been asked to leave numerous assignments. This was my last assignment that I landed at after being asked to leave robbery homicide. And I welcomed Sasha in and I told her this is how it's going to be and how we do things, and welcomed her to our crew. And when I walked out, I looked at those sergeants and they looked at me and were like, oh my Lord, what are we doing now? But it was really an eye-opener for me to see how well Sasha did. Because a lot of times you see somebody, and look at Sasha, she's gorgeous. She's talented, she has, just is smart, and she's just a pleasure to be around. And a lot of people will say that if you make rank, that it's because you've worked the easy way or you've been given things. Well, working for me, she was not given anything but a rough time. And I want you to know that not only did she get my respect, but I've talked to those senior sergeants and she got their respect also. She was a phenomenal sergeant. And let me say something, that it's not just the physical part of the job, it's the mental part too. In that area, I can remember, and you'll see how I tie this into Sasha. I was a young general assignment sergeant, and a call came out of a missing child, and I went to the call, and there was a uniform in the pool. And he was pulling a young boy out of the pool, dead. And that boy was wearing the same pajamas that my son, my number 2 child, was wearing that morning when I left for work. I didn't have a cell phone. We didn't have one. I had to go to a payphone down off of Alt Indicator and call my wife to make sure that wasn't my kid that was dead. And these were routine calls where we worked. And not only did you have to go on those calls, but you had to manage them, and you had to supervise them. And I can remember one time, and by the way, that child of mine that I was worried about ended up working with her. They worked together, and Sasha was his boss. So I can remember another time on one of the calls we were at, there was some kind of gang party, all kinds of activity, and one of the gang sergeants comes up to me, and I'm just standing there watching her. And he says, "You think she's handling this very well?" And I said, "No." He says, "Well, why don't you step in and say something to her?" I said, "Let's just see how it plays out." He says, let's see what she comes up with. He says, "Well, when are you going to step in?" I said, "She violates policy or the law. I'll step in, but let's just see." And by golly, she took care of business. She worked it out. She got it done. And pretty soon, this became the norm with Sasha. Sasha would show up on things, and she was no longer the new sergeant or the one that people kind of looked at. She commanded the respect of the units that were around her, including those detectives and the officers that worked for her. And I'll be honest with you, I was very surprised at how well she took to working where she did with us. So I'd just like to say that. And another thing, before I end this long speech, is I've never been accused of lying to anybody on Metro or anybody else. In fact, a lot of times I've been accused of saying my mind too much. And I see Joe Lombardo down there, and I just want to say to you, in front of God and everybody, I think you're doing one hell of a job, Joe. And thank you. And I hope you'll let me say this one thing. Sasha, you did one hell of a job on Metro, too. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Ted. All right, amongst the other retirement cracks as well here, ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is like Sasha's big brother that she never had, but she always wanted. So, Mom, you should have been, well, never mind. Okay. Also, they're the godfather. He's the godfather of all 3 of Sasha's children, and her best guy friend, as she says, for over the past 25 years, so I guess I've been kicked to second. And even though he no longer lives in Nevada, he continues to guide Sasha as a mentor throughout her career and everyday life. And the 2 of them have more memories than than a lifetime of theirs. So if you will, please help me welcome John Sheehan, the retired sergeant of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and GQ's newest cover model for retired police officers, right here. Ladies and gentlemen, John Sheen.
Hey, John. Thanks.
Excuse me, everybody. Old. Ted Snodgrass, I just want to say you're a stud, man, and you're a legend on the department, and I have fond memories of you and all the P tests I had to take with you in IAB when I was in SWAT. Thank you. I met Sasha before she was on the department. I met Sasha at Gold's Gym in Summerlin. My partner, Manny Rivera, and I were working out. And Sasha and her mom approached us and figured we were one of two things. We were the firefighters or cops. And that must have been our demeanor or whatever, but we copped to it. We said, yeah, we're on the SWAT team in Las Vegas Metro Police. And Sasha, this is early 1999, she said, I'm going to be in the police academy this year, and lo and behold, yeah, she was going to be in the police academy, Academy 299. And 199? One and 299, there you go. And I just knew when I met her, the twinkle in her eye, the enthusiasm and everything, I said, this girl's going to crush it. And we got to keep our eye on her, Manny. And so as she went through the academy, at various points during the academy, I would come in and was her instructor for different things, including her SWAT night, which is where we basically get to blow up the recruits. And Sasha was just eating it up and absolutely loved it. And I was always taken with her, but not in a way where I wanted to get in your pants, right? Yeah. It was always, she never had a brother. I'm the oldest of three boys. I never had a sister. And immediately, I just felt that big brotherly desire to make sure that I could be there for her whenever she needed it, and I could just, guide her whenever she needed it, or just be there to listen. And lo and behold, she makes it, she graduates, she's hitting the street, and within about 3.5, 4 years, she gets into 2 officer-involved shootings. So I figured she's got this down, right? She's a badass. And she was a fantastic cop. But during the course of her career, just every level that she achieved, when she became a TAC officer in the academy, when she was working undercover, as she promoted, I was nothing but proud of her because I never got to have a little sister. And this is my little sister that was making something great on our department, and she was leading the way for a lot of women to follow. And I hadn't seen that in the ancient times that, I came on back late 80s, early 90s. And Sasha brought that to the table every day, with the enthusiasm, the drive, but not only that, caring, compassion, kindness, the ability to listen to people, to do the right thing every single time. And whenever Sasha got into a jam, if something was going on, I knew she was right. So I always backed her play. And I would have backed her play anyway. I'm her big brother. But as she continued up through the ranks, it just, nothing but pride from us. She became part of my family. I became part of her family. A point in time came when I was over at the house with her and Tim, and they showed me this little picture. And I look at it, and it's an ultrasound. And I said, what is this? They said, that's your godson. And that was the first picture I ever saw of Brock. And then as time went on, Brock comes into the world, and then Rumi and Reagan, and I get to be their godfather too. And I am just overwhelmed with pride and joy for not only Sasha, but for her family, to be able to see what this next chapter in her life is going to bring her. Because I know she's going to rock it. And I know you all know she's going to rock it. She is in this room, and it's a room full of people that love her and care about her and want to see nothing but the best for her moving forward. So I just, I had like 15 minutes to prepare this because Michelle Tavares came up to me and said I had to speak. So, but honestly, other than that, I guess if anybody asked for one statement about what I felt about my sister Sasha, I would say this is a woman that consistently exudes nuclear levels of positive energy in everything that she does. And if you all are in this room, you know that too. Nobody ever represented LVMP better. Sasha is the gold standard for all women and men in law enforcement, the utmost example of what the next generation of women entering law enforcement can and will achieve. Sasha, I can't wait to hear what's going to come next. I love you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Always following the lead of his goddaughters and jumping off the stage right there. Try that in heels. They win. You didn't. All right, you heard about working law enforcement, and there is an individual still on the force, not one of the retirees, that wants to come up and give you a little extra love as well. You know her as well. Before we move into the presentation of our retirement credentials, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce a special woman in Sasha's life. And this is one of Sasha's dearest friends, the love and the support before these two. They've provided each other a blessing in their life. They're both kind of partners in crime. And if I remember correctly, she was, when you went to academy, she was one of your instructors. Do I remember that correctly? Right? Yeah. Okay. These two together are often mistake them for sisters. You can see why. One wears the short dress, one wears the long. I'll let you figure it out. Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Tavares, captain with the LVMPD. Michelle?
So I thought that I would speak from here today, which is where I kept my speech. There's a Spanish proverb that says, "Tell me who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are." And yet, Sasha still chooses to be my friend. I thought the best way to describe this woman was through some of the inspirational and filled with wisdom messages that she has left with me over the years, much like that proverb. The first would be, "You will not embarrass the women on this department, Tavares." As Christian said, I first met Sasha when I went through the police academy in 2006. And they do a thing where they treat you very kindly in the beginning and lull you into this false sense of hope that it won't be so bad. And at the end of that week, they start screaming and yelling at you and they kick you out. Now, they don't do that anymore. I don't know why, hazing maybe, I don't know, whatever, it's fine. So that's what happens is we start to get yelled at. And she looks at me and she says, "When you leave this locker room, Tavares, you better be running." Now, I can follow directions, and I knew she was serious about it. But here's a caveat. Every time you're in the hallway as a recruit and you see anybody that's not a recruit, I don't care if they're the maintenance man fixing the light, you are required to put your back against the wall and stand at attention and request permission to pass. So Sasha got me with this one. I came tearing out of that locker room ready to get the hell out of there. I see her and I'm running just like I was told to. And I forgot to stop and hit the wall. So Sasha drops me to my face in the push-up position and starts screaming in my ear, "You will not embarrass the women on this agency, Tavares." And that was my first introduction to Sasha Larkin. Now, what I have taken from that and what I think Sasha meant by that, because I have to try to guess and figure it out, is that if you do the hard things in life the right way the first time, then as you move and progress through your career, not only can you be proud of what you've done, but your loved ones can be proud of what you've done. Much like I am proud of you, my friend. Quote number 2. Don't finger fuck my gun, Tavares. Still in the academy for this one. We're sitting in a circle listening to TAC Officer Larkin. Actually, you were not TAC Officer Larkin yet. No, you were not. You were TAC Officer Castor at the time. Listening to TAC Officer Castor explain to us what to do if we do a car stop and there's a gun in the vehicle. And she says, what do you do? Now, me not knowing anything about anything, think, oh, well, you go up and get it. And that's not the right answer, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what I said. Well, you go up and get it, ma'am. And she looked dead at me in front of everybody else and said, don't finger fuck my gun, Tavares. The life lesson that I feel like Sasha was trying to teach me was that if you are willing to volunteer information or ask questions, even when you might not know, you can learn very valuable lessons that are sometimes incredibly memorable. And throughout the years, she has taught me so many. Quote number 3. I don't think you should test for lieutenant, you're not ready. Always the supporter, Sasha Larkin. When I go to her and say, ma'am, I'm thinking I might test for lieutenant, that was her response to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, my mentor doesn't think that I'm ready to be a lieutenant. What do I do? So I went back and I thought about it really hard and I thought she must have her reasons. And I decided to do it anyway. Well, now comes the conversation to tell my mentor that I'm not following her advice. Now, if anybody's ever met Sasha, you know that she can be incredibly scary to deal with when she's not pleased. And I didn't want to have this conversation with her, but I thought it was the right thing to do. So I called her up and I said, can you meet for coffee? She said, absolutely. And I sat down and, quivering with fear, said, ma'am, I decided that I'm going to test for lieutenant. And she looked at me and said, good for you, you're going to be a phenomenal lieutenant. The life lesson that I got from her that day was that when you are selflessly giving and helping others in the way that Sasha does, you fully understand that your advice might not always be followed, but support doesn't end just because they didn't do what you said. And Sasha never stopped supporting me, and she helped me through the entire process. Finally, the last quote, and probably my favorite thus far. I never knew you to be such a little bitch, Michelle. I mean, sometimes I wonder if we really are friends. So I'm sure you've seen some of the pictures of Sasha and I at the gym. We both like to work out at Orange Theory, and one morning before a 5 a.m. class, so probably on me for bringing it up when she's tired, I go to tell my friend and mentor that I don't think I want to test for captain. And her response to me was, I never knew you to be such a little bitch, Michelle. And I sat there stunned with what just happened. And Sasha said, if you don't want to test for captain, that's fine. But the reason I had given her was because there was a lot of competition. She said, you think those boys are competition, and they look at you exactly the same way. Don't let that stop you from doing what you want to do in life. She said, I'm so wise. The final life lesson that I got was that true friends are willing to call you out on your bullshit, and they will support you when you need it the most. And that is why I am so grateful that I have had the honor of having Sasha as not only my mentor, but my best friend. I asked Sasha the other day, what's your favorite memory of our friendship? And she said, I have to say your academy graduation, because that's where it all started. So when I started to think what my favorite memory was, I went back to the year 2008. I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer at the age of 25. Brand new cop, just bought a house, had no idea what to do. I had to have surgery to get my thyroid removed, and it was a pretty easy surgery, and I was only in the hospital for 1 day. And during that 1 day, my squad came to visit me, and Sasha came to visit me. She showed up, she brought a gift, and she told me everything was going to be okay. And that is a true testament to who this woman is. The selflessness that Sasha has always displayed is one of the many reasons that I love her. And I'm so honored to be your friend. And if you look out in this room, you have touched the life of every single person in here. The community, Sasha, that you built, not only in Las Vegas, but for LVMPD, there is absolutely nothing that could ever replace that or fill that hole.
We love you.
I've been asked several times since you announced your retirement, Michelle, what are you going to do without your best friend at work? And I said, I'll probably get more work done. The amount of laughter that we've had, the amount of tears that we've shed, Sasha, there just are no words to express in the amount of time that this room has how grateful I am for you and how much I love you and the legacy that you have left on this agency through your mentorship to not only me, but hundreds of women. And I promise you, friend, all you ever asked of me was to pay it forward, and I will do just that for you. And I am so grateful and so honored that you asked me to speak today.
Don't mess up your makeup. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Michelle Tavares. Thanks, Michelle. All right, you guys are about to witness kind of one of the most unique, what we call credential presentations. For those of you in law enforcement, you already know what it is. For those of you that are not in law enforcement, it is as an individual retires from the police department, they get what we call credentials. This is kind of probably going to be one of the most unique presentation of credentials because, as most of you know, our current governor used to be sheriff of LVMPD. To the best of my knowledge, I have not seen, nor do I know, of any other credential presentation where the governor of the state is going to present them. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage Joe Lombardo, retired chef of Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and the governor of the state of Nevada. Hey, Joe, give me that, I'll hold it.
All right. I thought I would be out of here a couple hours ago, but what a great crowd. It's a testament, right? It's a testament to your support, Sasha, and thank you for the honor of presenting your credentials. But prior to presenting the credentials and the formal aspect of a retirement, another round of applause for Michelle. What a fantastic. And part of the reason why I need to, can I use this? And part of the reason why I need to give her some kudos is because I wouldn't use the word daughter, but I would use the word probably niece. Her father, Mark Tavares, was a very close friend of mine and my original training officer. And he didn't fire me, and as a result, I'm your governor. And so, but the interesting piece, the cojones on this girl, is in the final inspection, traditionally in Metro, the executive staff would go out amongst the troops, the new officers, and confront them and ask them questions. And I stood before Michelle when she was in the academy, and I said, "What are your plans, young lady?" And she said, "I want your job." I didn't say fuck off, but I said good for you. So before we get into the formal presentation, there's a couple questions I have to ask. What the hell does finger fuck a gun mean? And the other thing I have to ask is, why the hell are these guys wearing kilts? Jesus. So when we were in the back of the room there, and the nature of the world today, and TikTok and social media and everything else, and the pictures that go along with our lifestyles now, in every pose, Sasha had the proverbial leg. But the unfortunate piece was, so did Tim. So you and your husband have a weird relationship. So, but no. This is a great honor for me. Great honor for me to be asked to present retirement credentials. I've been here a couple hours, so I've been drinking a little bit. So, as you can imagine, I don't get much time to relax. But this is a great honor, and the ability to present Sasha her formal credentials on a representation of a fantastic career. Unfortunately, there's some individuals not here tonight, but that doesn't matter, right? Because the most important people to Sasha and to our community are here tonight. Who said that? Missy? Latoya. So the uniqueness of Sasha Larkin is, as you go through your career in law enforcement, as you get out of the knuckle dragger phase that Ted Snodgrass alluded to, and you decide you want to go up in the ladder of promotion and leadership, the key component that's asked along the way is your community involvement. And as we progress through the decades, John Sheehan and the rest of us, we learned that the community was influential in our success in law enforcement. And it took us a long time to get there. And Sasha was the epitome of community engagement. And we were all, I wouldn't say jealous, because as we go through the process, we're like, cops hate the system they work in, but God help you if you try to change it, right? And Sasha took that onus upon her shoulders and says, I will be the representative of LVMPD in community engagement. And it took us a long time to realize for us to be successful in law enforcement and affecting crime prevention, it required us to be members of the community. And Sasha was on the forefront of that. And to be quite frank with you and honest, thank God she was, because none of us wanted to do it, right? And in a testament to her effort and her success, you're all here tonight. There's members of the entire Las Vegas community, Southern Nevada community, here in the room tonight. The people that have direct influence on social services and the people that are downtrodden or can't help themselves are here tonight. They represent those people who have communication with Sasha Larkin. And eventually, and as a result of all those efforts, we are better as a community. And LVMPD owes a sense of gratitude, a great deal of gratitude to Sasha Larkin for that effort. We would not be, we would not be where we are today in the relationship with LVMPD and the community. We would not be having a retirement party on Commerce today without Sasha Larkin's efforts. And she needs to be commended for that. So why are we here? Missy, why are we here?
Celebrate our amazing friend.
There you go, to celebrate our amazing friend, right? Not a assistant sheriff of LVMPD, 25 years of service, not because we had the occasion to be in a yoga class with her, Tim. Not because John Sheehan said some weird ass thing like I didn't try to get in her pants. At a retirement party in front of her husband. We're here to honor her and what she's done for us, for our community, and for the state of Nevada. So thank you. Thank you, Sasha. So there's a little bit of apology that goes along with it. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to do first things first. Christian. So Christian, say Tavares. Say that.
Tavares.
It's not Tavares. So her name's Tavares. You're not trying to sell us a freaking prize. So for those of you who know Christian, he is probably the consummate auctioneer in Southern Nevada. And he's raised more money here with the nonprofits and the foundations in Las Vegas. That's the huge benefit for all of us and what we try to achieve in our profession and our lives throughout time. And as long as I know him, he's been on a high pedestal. And he deserves a round of applause. So. Tavares.
Thank you, Governor.
So without further ado, some of the accoutrements that come with retirement, and it'll be a little bit different in my presentation today because Sasha being a female versus a male, so the narrative is a little bit different, and you'll understand why here in a second. It's not sexism, relax, all right? So Assistant Sheriff Sasha A, what's A? Ann Larkin, P number 6234, upon retirement in recognition of 25 years and 3 months of service, rookie. You're laughing, but 35 years is probably about the right amount of time. So January 25, 99 versus May of 24 with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Congratulations. All right, we have a note from somebody. It says Assistant Sheriff Sasha Larkin. I didn't look at it, but I did take the money out of it. So we have a little faux pas happening here. You have it? Where is it? So I was going to ask a detective in the room to do an investigation, but so part of a retirement and a career police officer is the honor of receiving your cap piece and your breast badge. So, yeah, take pictures of that because there's something missing. Nothing like putting me on the spot, Sasha. So, her breast badge is missing. So, what the fuck? Oh, right here. There. So she said they put it in a shadow box, and thanks for ruining my presentation. So, but the other big piece of retirement is receiving your retirement credentials. And the significant piece of your retirement credentials. It represents your effort, your concern, it represents your work ethic, it represents the 3 a.m. phone calls and everything else that goes along with it, from your infancy to your maturity as a police officer. And nobody can take that away from you, right? Because you know what you did. And unfortunately, in the law enforcement community, there's a lot of naysayers. There's a lot of people that poo-poo. Is that a real word? I don't know. There's a lot of people that say, you know, they're negative. They're negative because they hate your success. And maybe that's human nature, but it's more so in law enforcement. And I totally 1,000% appreciate John Sheehan's words and the fact that he wanted Sasha to be successful. And what we deal with in law enforcement is people seem to want to bring you down throughout your career instead of build you up. And that's the unfortunate piece of the human genome. But you can't take that away from Sasha, because she's got huge shoulders. Look at them. And Olympic swimmer up here. But she's done a fantastic job in addressing the needs of our community, and she has to stand proud and be very happy with what she's achieved. So. And as you progress through your career, the only thing you care about, with all the negativity that goes along with our career and what our profession, is your family. And you've done a fantastic job. Maybe you and your husband will have a conversation later tonight and ask him why he's wearing a kilt. But there's some kind of weird shit going on tonight, but I'm better off not knowing. But so I digress. But the important piece is, Tim, get your ass up here. Come on. As a matter of practice, when I was the sheriff and now as your governor, I allowed the closest family member the opportunity to present your retirement credentials and give them a hug and say thank you. So.
Let's do that.
Come on. You're in charge, Christian. Thank you.
Captain Tolver is sorry. We're there. It's always good to get abused by Joe Lambeter. Missy got that one, right? You got that one? Did you like that one, Don? Was that good? Yeah, okay. The best thing is Joe doesn't know, so. Well, I think the great thing about this is we started, everything was going along. Sasha said, keep things moving. So we got everything done with all of our 12 speakers before in 30 minutes, and Joe gets up here, and the next thing you know, it's 45 minutes, and he's still.
So listen, you're not selling anything. Sit down. The last thing I want to do is I want Chris Darcy and Lash Chavez to get your butt up here. So come on. For those of you in the audience that don't know who they are, Lash Chavez was one of my assistant sheriffs who helped influence Sasha's career, and Chris Darcy was my undersheriff for a period of time who had the same influence. And because they are part of executive staff and part of Sasha's fabric in her career, I would appreciate to have a photograph with them. So.
Gentlemen, any comments? Joe, anything else? Yeah, go give it to him.
All right, get off the stage. But so I'm going to leave you with this. I would not be your governor without her help. I would not have been your sheriff without her help. So this is an honor for me to be able to present her retirement credentials and an honor to wish her goodwill into the future. Congratulations, Sasha. Thank you.
I guess everybody else is cussing, I might as well, even though I don't. It's always good to get crap from Joe. So let's give him another big round of applause for taking time out of his busy schedule. I like that when police retire, they always get a get out of jail free badge in the leather wallet, which is always fun. So ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure at this time, the reason that we're all here. As I introduce this next individual, what I challenge each of you to do is just in your own hearts, remember the moment when you met Sasha. And as Sasha retires and she goes on to her next choice in life and what she's doing, please continue to communicate with her. Send her the texts, send her the loves, even if it's just something to say, we're thinking about you. Because it's typically in employment that you don't miss the job. You miss the people that were part of that job that you worked with as well. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the woman of the hour, the woman of the month, the woman of the year, and for the past 25 years, Miss Sasha Larkin.
Tonight I speak to you from my heart, the deepest, most authentic, yet brightest place of my heart and soul. However, I have written the words to this speech 1,000 times in my head. I've been to 100 retirement parties and always wondered, what would I say? What will I say? Will I fumble? How will it come out? Will I forget someone? What words matter the most? 25 and a half years, 9,313.68 days, 13,411,704 minutes, but not 1 second of regret. There's honestly not another career I would have rather had in this lifetime. There's been incredible days of joy and laughter where I laughed until my abdominal muscles were sore. Thank you, Billy Ray, Barry, Braden, thank you for that. There's also been some of the most traumatic and soul-crushing, gut-wrenching days of my life with traumas that are almost unspeakable. But every one of those I counted as such an honor to be there and be a part of it and contribute and lead in the best way that I could in those moments. I wouldn't trade one day, not one moment of this career for anything else in the world. And I will tell you, some of you know, I've wanted to be a police officer since I was 3. I fell in love with Larry Wilcox. My husband knows, so he's not upset about this. Larry Wilcox, otherwise known as John Baker. He was the lead in Chips. And I know many of you are thinking, no, that was Eric Estrada, Poncherello. No, no, no. John Baker was the lead. And the reason is I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Everybody looks like Poncherello. Nobody except my husband looks like John Baker. It's a calling. I do believe that. I believe that if you go into law enforcement, there's something deeper inside. And as all of you out there, all of you that have lived your dream, you can relate and know that we didn't do it alone. And I'm so grateful that so many of those who have held my hand through this journey are here tonight. And it begins with my inspiration, my mother. Mom, will you just stand up for a second and let them see you? That's my mom, Marilyn Newby. There's not a stronger woman in the world. She was a single mother that raised me, and a lot like my daughter so eloquently stated, I was taught very early on a few very vital lessons from this woman. One, you have to always be able to stand on your own 2 feet. 2, the value of an education. And 3, don't ever take no for an answer, fight for what you want. And she's been by my side the entire time. I will tell you that growing up in Albuquerque, it was just big enough to be interesting, but not small enough to get swallowed up in the chaos. And I want to share with you my favorite story of my mother, because if you couldn't tell when she stood up, she's 4'11", 90 pounds, dripping wet, but as ferocious as anyone you'd ever want to meet. And we were traveling. She used to own a modeling agency on the side because she runs an urgent care clinic full-time and ballroom dances 6 nights a week, so I don't know how we had time to get anything done. We were traveling with Hawaiian Tropics, the suntan lotion back in the 80s and 90s. It was a big deal. And we're in Hawaii at this Hawaiian Tropics pageant with the owner, Ron Rice, and it was back in the days that O.J. Simpson, God rest his soul, not really, was there as a judge. And my mom is talking to Steve Wynn. He's one of the judges, right? And as most of you know, Steve Wynn is challenged with his eyesight. And we didn't know who he was. We weren't from Vegas at the time. And my mom is asking him, where do you live? Where are you from? What do you do? And I think he was a little surprised she didn't know who he was. And he says, oh, I'm from Vegas. And she says, oh, we go to Vegas for my daughter's karate tournament every year. We always stay at the Tropicana. We love the Tropicana. And he says, have you ever been to the Mirage? She's like, no, we don't go that far down on the strip. We don't like the Mirage. And then she's drinking a Coke, like a soda, and for some reason burps loudly. And he's very close because he can't see. And she keeps talking. And he was laughing so he couldn't believe this little 4'11" woman is not only insulting the Mirage, but then has no care in the world as to who he is. And when he's done talking to her, he hugged her. He thought she was the best. And every time he saw her the rest of the week, he just gave her a hug because he thought she was the best, a firecracker and so funny, and he just loved everything about her. She won over Steve Wynn, and that was my mother wrapped up in a nutshell. She could win anyone over in any room at any time. And Mom, I would not be here today without your support. You showed up at every karate tournament, every dance recital, everything. And you taught me how to be a strong, independent, ferocious woman, and for that, I owe everything to you. Thank you. And the theme of coming back to not doing it alone, and to those that held my hand, it's also important. Those that came before me, my mentors, my guides, the people that gave me a swift kick in the backside, Ted Snodgrass, John Sheehan, all of my friends that paved the way. Because the truth is, policing has come so far, and we had it much easier than a generation before. And I hope that I was able to make it easier for the generation that will follow. And I will tell you that The governor was right in bringing up Chris Darcy and Laz Chavez because they did model the way for the job that I got to step into and do for the last 2 years. So thank you for taking a chance on me, Chris and Laz. Governor, thank you so much because I would not be here without those that came before. And like the real leader, the best leader is one who has enough sense to pick good men and women, to do what he wants done, and have the self-restraint to keep from meddling with them while they do it. And this quote to me really illustrates the real leader in my book, Governor Joe Lombardo. He is the central element in the turning point of my career. And he's the one that gave me a swift kick in the ass and told me to promote. He's the one that told me to develop these partnerships. And it was because of his belief in me that I had the momentum and the confidence to be creative and tenacious in my pursuits. He never stopped supporting me, guiding me, and mentoring me. I will tell you that every time I took a promotional test, I went to see him, and he always made time. As busy as he was, nobody's calendar was more full. But he always found time to give me direct, clear, and very, very impactful advice. It's not easy, and it's not better, and it's not worse to go through this career as a woman. And I can honestly tell you, I don't think Joe ever looked at me any different. But I'll tell you a funny story. One time I was probably working on a project at the jail, and I think this is what brought it up. I think he gave me permission, probably against his better judgment, to roll out a yoga program. Dre, Rachel, they were teaching yoga in the jail for us. And Joe had gotten word of it. He was our sheriff at the time, and he walked past and he just shook his head and he said, "You're such a tree hugger." And then he kept walking. And I was like, I think that's a compliment. I'm not sure. But you did, Governor, always give me the ability to create these programs, so thank you. And like the 3 a.m. crew, those friends that you can call in the middle of the night, 3 in the morning, ask them to bring the shovel and a garbage bag and give them an intersection, and they just show the fuck up. I will tell you their names, but then again, I have to keep their names private in order to protect their innocence for when I actually do have to make that phone call. And my dear friend and my brother Chris Matthews told me the first week of the academy that I would be very lucky if I left my career with 5 3 a.m. friends. And you know what, Chris, you were right. The people that you can really pick up the phone and call when your life is falling apart, when you don't know where else to go or what else to do, are the rarities in this life. So thank you for showing me that, Chris, and my brothers and sisters out there that I know will answer the phone whenever I call. And like my partners in crime. There's a few of them, but I just want to give you the ones that have really seen me through it. My assistant, Cindy T, I guess is what Christian has named her. So Cindy and I have been friends almost my entire career. We started working at the Fusion Center together in counterterrorism when I was a lowly sergeant, and she was were you a lest? She was a lest. And we just became buddies. Her daughter was born at the same time that Brock was born. And we really bonded over motherhood and the challenges, and then our love for counterterrorism in the Fusion Center. And she said, we should keep this partnership going. I said, I agree. One day I'm going to test for captain, and you're going to test for AA, and we're going to work together, be the dynamic duo. And that was always our plan. And when my first assistant, Marie, who's here, thank you, Marie, when Miss Marie retired, Cindy had just promoted to AA, and so our partnership manifested, and we were ready to take over the world. So Cindy, thank you for everything. Without Cindy, there would be no Sasha. She really carried the water for me and did all of the heavy lifting. I promise you I would not have done half the things I was able to do without you, so thank you. And I just want to highlight one other thing, because the truth is when you have success, it's because you surround yourself with people that are much smarter than you. And that goes for me when I was a captain running area commands. I had the best lieutenants, and so many of them are here tonight, which I'm so grateful for. Carmen is here, Tim is here, and my administrative lieutenant, Britt Given, who really was the change maker that helped me run not just one, but 2 area commands. Rick, you were my laughter, you were my partner in crime, you were the one that made us successful. I always give you the credit for it, so I don't know where you are, but thank you for coming all the way from Florida. Thank you for everything you did, because I wouldn't have ever been as successful as I was without you, so thank you. And in partnership with Rick was Michelle. As you know, and as most of you know, that without Michelle and Sasha, it's kind of a salt and pepper. By the way, I'm salt, you're pepper, because you're more Hispanic than I am. And we really have had such the good fortune to work together. My daughters are best friends with her daughters. We've had such a wonderful journey. And when she asked me my favorite memory, I couldn't come up with just one, because the stories are so rich and fruitful of all of the fun that we've had at work, with our children, and just really getting to learn from each other and grow as friends, as leaders. And Michelle, as you go on to lead the women of Metro, I know you're going to do incredible things and take it to the next level. And I can't wait until I get to put my stars on your collar one day, because I know they're coming. And like the motivation for everything I've done, otherwise known as this amazing community. I've been so blessed to have these relationships that the governor discussed. The truth is, and I always say, it happened on accident, but it was totally purposeful. My ability to work in the community began with the Muslim community, Mr. Ramadan, Rokai, all of my friends here tonight that opened their hearts, their doors, and allowed us to learn and grow with you and from you. It really was Metro's first connection to how we can make this a better place. Because the truth is, all we knew after 9/11 was what the media told us. We hadn't taken the time to really learn. And now we're in a place where we've learned from each other, we've grown from each other, and I think that our police department and our community is stronger because you were all here. And then we moved on to work in the Jewish community, in the Baha'i community, in the Hindu community, in the Ethiopian community, the LGBT community, and we've been so blessed. So thank you, all of you that are here supporting us from the community. I would not have been anything in this career as fulfilled without you. And like the wind beneath my wings, otherwise known as my girl crew. You hear them hooting and hollering in the audience because they're very shy. But I will tell you that through COVID, through all of the ups and downs in life, and just really from day-to-day functioning, as we get older, my girlfriend Betsy, who's, by the way, my oldest time in friendship. I didn't say oldest because she's not the oldest. The friend that I've had the longest is in this room. We've been friends since we were 19. Betsy, where are you? Betsy came all the way from Dallas to be here with me tonight. But we've been friends since we were 19, and we worked at a restaurant together, which she made me promise I wouldn't discuss. But we really were so lucky to have grown up together. And my girl crew that is here, all of you that I've been friends with and taught yoga with. And I'm so grateful for you because you keep me sane. And the reason for it all, Connor, Brock, Rumi, and Reagan. I birthed 3 of them, 2 at one time, and 1 is my bonus son, which I got to raise since he was 8. And I was a TAC 9, and I was a TAC officer at the academy when Tim first brought Connor up, and Connor was so cute, and he had these big fat tennis shoes on that weren't really laced up. And Jim LaRochelle was the sergeant, and we were running the recruits up this really mean hill. And Connor looks at me, he looks at the hill, he looks at Jim LaRochelle, and he says, "I think I can take him." And Jim was like, "Go for it." And Connor raced his little heart out as he's racing the recruits up Isaac Newton Way, I believe it was. And that was his first introduction, and he used to want to make me make the recruits drop and do push-ups all the time. He thought that was so funny. So sorry, Michelle, that was partly Connor's fault. But, you know, he came into my life and became my bonus son, and without Tim, there was no Connor, and without Connor and Tim, they were a package deal. And I feel really lucky that I got to have my first experience of motherhood with him. Connor, thank you for being such an incredible young human and growing into such a remarkable man. Your dad and I are so proud of you, and I can't wait to see what's next. And Brock, Rumi, and Reagan, you guys are my heart and soul. You're the reason I get out of bed every day at 4:15 and do it. I hope that you know that all of the late nights or times where I can't pick you up from school or go to a stupid play at 2 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, who does that? That you are everything to me, and I'm so proud of the three of you, and I love seeing you become your own humans. I love seeing you have your view on the world. Keep doing it. Never take no for an answer, and keep chasing your dreams. And lastly, and most importantly, is The Rock, otherwise known as my Rock. And he'll find the irony in this, that I call him The Rock, because my hall pass in our marriage is Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. So tonight, Tim Larkin, you are The Rock. You're always my rock. You know, it's tricky in our career, especially as a female, to find someone that will put up with this career, that will understand being around men all day, that will understand the culture, the relationships, the time away. It's not easy. And my husband has done a phenomenal job at being accepting and patient and loving me through it all. And Tim Larkin, I would not have any of the success or ability or support that I get to do the things that I love to do without you. You are my rock. You are the rock of my life. And I'm so grateful as we almost get to 19 years together for everything you've done for me. Thank you, and I love you. And I was searching for a way to sum it up. And my mentor, Amy Ayub, of course, came to the rescue and helped me. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant or gorgeous, talented or fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking, so other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine. As children, we do. We're born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And she gave me that quote to look up today, and she said, you might want to check out this quote. And I started reading quote after quote, and I picked this one, Amy, because you were right, that nobody gets to darken our light. And there are times in our careers where we are overwhelmed with darkness. But I've tried every day to never let anybody or anything to darken my light. And I hope if I've touched your life in any way, you know that I try to lead and love with that light. And I thank you all for touching and enriching my life and allowing my light to shine. And I know that the question, I would like to finally give you the answer. What's next? So with encouragement from my mentors in the room, I had a couple different thoughts about what I was going to do. And since the feet fetish on OnlyFans was already fully maxed out, I signed with FIFA World Cup 2026 this week. So we're moving to Miami, and I'm going to be the intelligence commander for FIFA for the World Cup, and there's 11 cities, 2 in Canada, 3 in Mexico, 104 games. I hope you'll come see me at one. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Please eat, drink. Hey Dre, before you turn up the music, I just want to take a quick minute to say thank you to my host committee, to my girl crew. Thank you to my husband for our performers and putting incredible event on tonight. Thank you to Barbara Molaski for this amazing facility. Cindy, my Cindy T, for organizing all of this. And Michelle and Missy and Farhat and Don and Carol and Brooke and Stephanie and Latoya for contributing and making this all happen. Renato, thank you for our alcohol. That's important. Thank you. To Tony, if you're still here, thank you for our really cool wine trailer. And Antonio from Sienna, Chef Vic, Mint, Laziz, India Palace, and of course my dear friend Payman and his family. Thank you. Thank you. Have fun, celebrate, and share joy with each other.
Too fast to prepare for this. Tripping in the world could be dangerous. Everybody circling as vulture rings. Negative, negatives. Everybody waiting for the Father man. Everybody praying for the end of times. Everybody hoping they could be the one. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, run me like a racehorse.